So your mom's approval is nice, but not necessary to succeed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your siblings' approval is nice, but not necessary to succeed. Mm-hmm. So approval is nice, but it's not necessary.
And sometimes you're seeking approval or advice from someone who hasn't even done it.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So they can't really give you the best.
I know. I used to talk about that all the time. Like even, and I think education is huge. But I remember having educators that had no experience in what it was they were teaching.
Mm-hmm. And that makes it tough. Like,
it makes it tough,
no,
right?
Why am I listening to you?
Right. But they understood the text. They understood knowledge. They had the knowledge, but no application, no experience. Mm-hmm. And that experience gives you another level of education.
But
right?
there's sometimes you have the experience, but you don't have the talent or the words to teach it.
That's exactly right. So it's right. So it's hard finding both.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven, and family-focused, and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Darnell and Tracy Self.
Yes.
Your co-host for the Self-Talk Experience, where the things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what and even who we attract for ourselves.
Yes.
You guys excited?
I'm excited about that pink collar shirt.
It's collarless. It's like a...
You know what I mean? The Chinese collar shirt.
Yes.
You don't usually wear stuff like that.
A little something different, in pink.
You're confidently wearing it.
Yeah, I got a little tan, so I thought I'd throw some pink on to accentuate the tan. The darkest skin.
I love it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. You never wear anything like that. Usually you don't wear anything like that.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are excited. Your week must be going really well. You having a great week?
I am.
Good. She's been waking up early in the morning, going to workouts every day. Like on vacation, she worked out every day. Normally she'll take workout outfits for every day, but she'll work out 2 days. She actually worked out every day. I was impressed.
I enjoy spending time with you. I don't want to leave your side.
Oh, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she definitely didn't leave my side. She worked out every day. I was impressed. You did it. Even there were days you had your bands and did it in the room.
Right. And I even went to the gym with you after I left my sneakers in the taxi cab, and I worked out with you in my flip-flops.
Yes.
I'm still sad about my sneakers.
Yes, all 6 of us in our family had these same Yeezys, and
I'm the only one who doesn't have them.
Yeah, they were sandy, and she's in the taxi cab. She took them off, and she was like, she had on her slides, and she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna forget my sneakers. Somebody in Tulum has some nice new shoes going to school, back to school.
Yes, that's okay. I blessed someone.
She blessed someone. That's why we're looking at it.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway.
So, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I was thinking that we could talk about approval and how that looks for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we thrive on approval, and when we don't get it, we crumble. And that's a hard place to be, because I know for me, there are certain people in my life that I really want their approval. And if I don't have it or don't get it, that's tough for me, right? You can have the approval of 1,000 people. You can have 1 million likes on social media. But if your mom or your best friend doesn't like it or acknowledge it, you feel away. So what is that? Like, how come you can't set that aside and say, well, I mean, at least I have this. I can't always worry about everyone else.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because you don't need everyone's approval to move forward.
You don't need it, but you strive for, like, that's what you want.
Yeah. When our youngest son, Makai, went to a school in Florida, and the coaches had a young lady come in who was, I want to say, she was a psychologist, but she could have had a title, but it was some behavioral science and mental aptitude talk she gave, and it was really good. And she talked about what motivates kids.
Okay.
And because some parents don't know. And when she went through this PowerPoint, I thought, oh my gosh, like you don't know what you don't know. We talked about that on a previous episode. And she talked about what motivated kids. In this case, she moved into sports, right? Okay. She talked about what motivated kids, and then she moved into sports because we were all there in a football meeting. And she says they interviewed all these football players across the country.
Okay.
And they said the number one thing that kids wanted to hear after a game is not their mom or their dad say, oh my gosh, that play was great, touchdown was great. The number one thing they wanted to hear was, I'm proud of you. They wanted that approval to say, I'm proud. Whether they played or not, I'm proud of you that you are on the team. Yes. I'm proud of you because I love the way you you applauded your team, you celebrated your team even though you didn't get in. I'm proud of. Like they want to know that they're playing because they want their parents to be proud of them. Isn't that funny?
There's always something to be proud of them, right? Even when you think you're not doing well, you have to dig deep. Just like the gratitude journal. When you're not in a good place, you have to really dig deep to find something to be thankful for. Perhaps being proud works the same way.
Yep. So I went there with that story to bring back the answer to your question, which is, why is that? That there's an expectation for certain people in your life that you have.
Absolutely. So
there's a lower expectation in the circle that's larger than your inner circle.
Right.
Right. So your inner circle, you expect certain things. There's a higher expectation. For an example, your inner circle, you feel like I can call at 3 a.m. and they're like, is everything okay?
Right.
You're like, I just needed you. Yeah.
Right.
And they wake up, what's up? What can I do? I just wanted to talk. Yeah, hold on, let me get myself together. And that's the expectation of your inner circle. 3 circles out, you may not have that. You would like, I'll wait and call them in the morning. You wouldn't even think to wake them up. Your expectation for them is different.
Right.
It's the same thing for approval.
Okay.
So this inner circle, you seek their approval because you have a level of expectation for them and you want to make them proud. Remember, I went back to the parents.
Right.
So you want them to be proud of you. You want them to say, oh my gosh, did you see? Right. So like when I got back, I just posted the Jungle Gym, and I asked our executive producer, Janelle, I was like, hey, did you see the gym? Because she's in my inner circle.
And you want her to say, oh
my gosh, yes, I need to be there. I need it, right? Somebody else, I don't care if they saw it.
Right.
I didn't even think to say if they're 5 circles out, but they may be the one liking it.
That's so funny too, because I just did I don't know what you call it, a vlog. Is that trying to learn all this?
Like a video blog. Yes.
So I did it, but before I even posted it, I sent it to my daughter to see if she liked it.
Right.
Because if she liked it and told me I should post it, then I was going to. But if she didn't, so that it works the same way, right?
Absolutely right.
And also I sent it to her and she told me how to fix it and what to do. And then I had to do it again and send it back. And then she said, yes, now. But again.
That's good. Yeah. So what we're saying is, I think this is important. And you said this the other day. You said, getting approval is nice, but not necessary to move forward.
But people say often, even to you in business, they'll be in a business and they'll have kind of a little bit of success, and then they'll stop. And then maybe you'll talk to them later and say, hey, are you okay? Like, what happened? Right. You're really doing well. And they'll say, well, my older brother, he didn't really think I should be doing it. Right. So he didn't really approve. And it took him out.
Yep.
Because he did not have that approval of someone that he really looked up to.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. No, it's very true.
And it could mess you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so think about this. Someone who's close to you could say, don't do it. And you don't. Someone who's not that close to you says, don't do it. And you're like, I don't really care what they say. I'm doing it.
Just like the video. If Milan told me, Mom, don't post that. Yep. I would have posted. Yep. I would have been like, oh, well. And no one would have ever known.
Yep.
I wouldn't have even done it.
Very true.
Right?
Very true. Because you told me if Milan says no, I'm not posting it. Yeah. Which is funny. One person. But so here's the thing.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people when they launch their business, for all those who are business owners, I bet you didn't get approval from everybody in your inner circle. And typically, especially if you're doing something that's out of the norm and you're not around a bunch of business owners, excuse me, you weren't raised with business owner family, parents.
Yeah.
You're like, they're like, be careful. Because that 2 weeks check is normal for them. And you're like, I'm going to step out.
Right.
So your mom's approval is nice, but not necessary to succeed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your siblings' approval is nice, but not necessary to succeed. So approval is nice, but it's not necessary.
And sometimes you're seeking approval or advice from someone who hasn't even done it.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So they can't really give you the best.
I know. I used to talk about that all the time. Like even, and I think education is huge. But I remember having educators that had no experience in what it was they were teaching.
And that makes it tough. Like,
it makes it tough, right?
Why am I listening to you?
Right. But they understood the text. They understood knowledge. They had the knowledge, but no application, no experience. And that experience gives you another level of education.
But there's sometimes you have the experience, but you don't have the talent or the words to teach it.
That's exactly right. So it's that right. So it's hard finding both, which is the reason why social media, man,
it's hard.
It is
because I know how to do French braids, but I can't show somebody how to do French braids. But I can do them.
I don't even know what a French braid is.
Well, I'm just giving an example of something that I can do, but I don't necessarily know how to show someone else how to do it.
That's a good point.
Right?
That's a good point. And this is why I have a challenge with some of the social media gurus. And it's only because I know that some of them are showing what they have, but don't know how to show others how to do it. And it's because they have no fruit in terms of students that they've helped. And that's why I think it's good to ask, hey, look, where are the people that you've helped to do what it is you're saying that you've done?
Right.
And so this whole approval thing, sometimes we just look at what people have, and what they have worked for them. But if they can't show you how to do it, you got sucked in based on what they have, not what they can show you how to get. And so this approval thing is huge.
It is.
Yeah, it's huge because we all seek it. And we had an episode on people pleasing.
Right.
And how not to get caught up in people pleasing. Go check that one out. But in this episode, we're really talking about how to continue to move forward when you don't have the approval of certain people.
Right.
So, and that's hard, right? Like even text messages, or you expect a certain response and you don't get it. I know you have grown through that season. You're like, they don't like me.
Like, what was that? It's one word. Give me more.
Right, or it's a heart. He's like, they just hearted it. Like they were busy, they were working. They wanted to let you know they saw it.
Well, I have grown past that, and I don't need the approval of everyone. But you know what I do? No, seriously, I don't even know if this is on topic. But so what I do is I compare. So
that's true.
I'll give a perfect example. There are two people that I really love, and I know they're not on social media. So I knew that they would like the last post that I was speaking about that I sent to my daughter. I sent it to them through text because I knew they would never see it. One of them responded with 2 words, and one of them responded with a whole paragraph. But I had to be okay. Right. Before I would be like, what? But now I was like, they're so funny. Right. And but that's the same thing. Right. But I sent it to them because I wanted them to like it. I wanted them to see. I wanted them to be proud that I did this.
But you stepped out because she doesn't really post a lot unless I'm collabing with her. So she's not going to post herself. She's like, how about I post a picture of me? And I'm like, because you love you. That's what you're saying to folks. You're saying, look, I love me.
Well, I did the other day.
I know, and I'm proud of you. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is the reason why she wanted this approval, because it is outside of the box for her. It is outside of her comfort zone. And she is stepping into a new version of Tracy's self. And because of that, you wanted the approval of those couple of folks. But just because someone gave you 2 words, those 2 words for that person could have been like, so good. And that was for them, they meant so good. Like, I'm so proud of you.
And I know how to embrace that now.
Right, good.
I didn't used to embrace it.
Right. I'm glad you're growing.
Okay.
I'm glad you're growing. We're all growing. We're all growing. And I think that's the wonderful thing about watching podcasts, listening to podcasts, personal development, attending seminars, taking courses, is that we all have room for growth. None of us are perfect, like none of us. And we're all working through this whole thing. Like, how do I move forward when there are people around me who I seek their approval aren't giving it to me? And how do I continue to navigate that and have this narrative that says that it's okay? Or maybe, we talked about this in the episode, you communicate with the folks who aren't giving you exactly what you want and say to them, this is what I would like from you. Because they're not mind readers.
Exactly right.
And give them an opportunity to say, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize you. I mean, you know me, I'm so busy. This is how I text everybody.
Right.
And they don't even realize that you're in the need of that's what you would like.
But even I know we're going way down a rabbit hole with that, but some people aren't good with that. Some people are great in a conversation. Some people don't want to text. Some people, if you pick up the phone, they will verbalize their enthusiasm. Yeah. So you have to learn people and not expect something that they're not going to give you. Yeah. And that you have to learn through and grow through as well.
Yeah. No, very good. Very good. You're absolutely right. So what we're saying is, listen, not everybody is going to communicate their approval the same way.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean they disapprove. It just means they don't express it the same way. Number 2, you may not actually get the approval when you want it. So in the beginning of your business or beginning of the relationship or in the beginning, right, folks may not actually give you the approval that you're seeking. And you have to make a decision that if you want what it is that you desire bad enough, you have to move forward without the approval of some of the folks who are closest to you.
And also you have to do a self-check, because are you being that person for them? And maybe that's why you're not getting it. Maybe you're wanting something that you're not even giving. Yeah. So what does that look like? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So sometimes you have to take a step back and look at yourself and say, would I want to be my friend?
Ooh, that's good.
Am I giving what I would like to receive? Yeah. Whether it's in a friendship, whether it's in a relationship. And sometimes you have to come back and say, you know what? I'm asking for this, but am I giving that to you? Or do you even want that from me? Yeah. Having those conversations too. And those are not easy. You have to get to a point where you're comfortable having them, right?
Okay, I'm gonna take off my collar and give it to you, preacher. Come on, preach. So no, that was good. It was great. So I didn't think about it like that. It's very true. It's very true.
We're always like wanting. Yeah. But what are we giving?
Good perspective. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. The other point I was going to make with approval as well is that sometimes, this is what happened with Milan, with our daughter, sometimes you're not getting the approval because they don't approve.
Yeah.
Right? It's not because they're just, haven't given you approval just because. It's because they're like, I don't agree with that.
I actually don't like your podcast. So that's why I'm not telling you I watch it, because I don't actually like it. You want me to say that or just say nothing? Okay.
This has been enough of this episode.
That's true.
No, it's very true, though. True. It's very true.
Sometimes you have to be okay.
Right. Dan's like, look, the reason why I don't approve any of your dance videos on social media, because I actually don't like any of your dancing. I think you're pretty horrible.
I don't like the things you say.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't like your captions. I don't like, right? So I don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm your friend, but I don't like, you never see me like your social media posts because I actually don't like it. I don't think it sets you up to have the brightest light shining on you at all. Like, people may feel like that.
Sure. Yeah. And again,
I got to be okay with that.
Yep.
Right. They look at it and scroll past real quick. So they don't even got to see it.
Oh, no.
Wait. Quick look.
Like, did you see what because I scrolled past it fast.
Right. And see. Maybe that was Janelle. I said, did you see us work out in the gym, the jungle? And she was like, oh, nah. Maybe she scrolled past my stuff. She just scrolls past all my stuff. Our own executive producer doesn't like my post, man. I got to work on approval here. All right, guys. Let me talk better to myself.
Well, do you like hers?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. That didn't fly.
That didn't work.
I was trying to take accountability for yourself. Do you like her stuff? I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. Remember, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves, even without the approval of others, will still allow us to attract what we want for ourselves.
Absolutely. And don't scroll past my stuff.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.